Styles. Let's look at selecting and playing styles. Go to Style Play mode. To select a style, touch the style name and simply touch the style you want. For now, select Fast Big Band. Play a chord in the lower range with 3 or more notes and press Start. Almost all of the factory styles are set up with lower chord scanning, triggering the chords below the split point. You can also trigger the chords above the split point by pressing Upper Chord Scan. Or turn Split off for full chord scanning, triggering the chords anywhere on the keyboard. In all 3 cases, the chord isn't triggered until you play 3 or more notes. There are other systems of triggering chords available, for example the one-finger method. Details are in the PDF manuals. Press Stop. The styles are grouped in categories. You can use the Style Select buttons to quickly jump to a category. Press Latin. Style categories can be selected on screen as well, using the tabs on the left and right. The tabs along the bottom take you to more styles in that category. Repeated pressing of a Style Category button takes you to the additional pages of styles as well. For now, use the screen to select the Funk and Soul category and select Al Swing from page 4. Each style has 15 style elements. These are used to recreate the parts of songs, intros, endings, etc. Play a chord in the lower range and press Start. As you go from variation 1 to 4, the musical parts naturally build and get busier in the same way a typical song builds. Press Stop. Intro 1 has a chord progression. Intro 2 doesn't have a chord progression. It's designed to respond to your chords. Intro 3 is a short intro designed to get into the song quickly. Endings 1, 2, and 3 work the same way. A style can be completely edited or even created from scratch. However, it's best to keep the factory styles unchanged. Songbook is the perfect way to customize the styles to your needs and be able to call them up in a logical and efficient way, as you'll see in the Songbook chapter. There are several buttons to help you interact with the styles. For example, you can trigger fills in 2 ways. By pressing a fill button, or press autofill, and a fill is automatically played when you press one of the variations. If I am on variation 2, it will play fill 2 before going to my selected variation. If I am on variation 4, it will play fill 4, etc. Turn autofill off for now. This memory button controls whether the full accompaniment plays when you release the keys. Or only the drums continue. Turn memory back on. Turn off bass inversion. The bass will always play the root of the chord you are playing. If you turn on bass inversion, the bass will play the lowest note in your chord. Turn off bass inversion. Manual bass mutes the accompaniment except for drums and percussion, and allows you to play bass in the lower along with the upper real-time tracks. Turn off manual bass. From the pop category, select the style Soft 8-beat and press Exit. Each style has 4 keyboard setups saved with it. These are called single touch settings, abbreviated as STS. You can quickly access them by pressing the STS buttons under the display. Touch the STS name tab and you can see the names and touch them directly on the display. If this STS mode button is on, it will automatically select STS1. If it is flashing, selecting a variation will also select the corresponding STS. If it is off, then the current real-time track setting is kept, and no STS is selected even when you change to a new style. Press it again so the button is lit but not flashing. Jazz category, page 3, Django. Chord Sequencer allows you to record a chord progression and have it loop. Just before the start of a measure, press these 2 buttons simultaneously. Just before the end of the measure, press these 2 buttons. Now the chord progression will loop, freeing up both hands to play the real-time tracks. Ensemble can be used to add harmonies to the upper sounds based on the chords you play. From the movie and show category, select Mystery Man. Play a chord and press Start. These pad buttons can have sounds assigned to them. Or even additional patterns that follow the chords you play and sync with the style. They can play once when you press it, or loop. Traditional category, page 2, German Polka 2. To the right of the Start-Stop button, you will find the Synchro Start and Synchro Stop buttons. When these are on, the accompaniment starts or stops as you play the keyboard. Turn both off for now. Inside the PA3X there are 140 studio quality effects, including recreations of many famous vintage effects. To understand them better, let's look at how effects are incorporated into the PA3X using Style Play mode as an example. Rock category, page 1, Rock Punch. Press Menu, then touch Effects. There are 2 groups of effects. They are referred to as Effects Group A and Effects Group B. Effects Group A is used for the accompaniment tracks, and Effects Group B is used for the real-time tracks. They both work basically the same, so let's look at Effects Group A. There are 2 different types of effects: Insert and Master. Insert effects are used when you want to add effects directly into the signal flow. In this way, the entire track is processed by the insert effect, similar to plugging a guitar into an effect pedal. Insert effects are useful for using a distortion effect on an electric guitar or a compressor effect on a drum kit, for example. You select the track that is sent to the insert effect here. The effect you want here. These tabs access more specific editing of the effects. Master effects are mixed in parallel together with the dry signal coming from a track. Each track has access to the master effects, and the amount of effect can be set for each track individually. You select the master effect you want here, and as with the insert effects, you have tabs that access each of the effects parameters. Notice that in this particular case, Master Effect 1 is a reverb effect, and Master Effect 2 is a chorus effect, and Master Effect 3 is a delay effect but is currently turned off. Press Menu, touch Mixer Tuning, and go to the FX Send page. Pressing Track Select toggles between displaying the settings of the accompaniment tracks and the real-time tracks. Display the accompaniment tracks. The amount of each of the master effects can be set for each track here. And of course the amount of the effects group B master effects for each real-time track here. Press Exit. Although we've been using style play to explain the effects, the other modes logically work the same way. In song play, the sequence tracks use FX group A, and the real-time tracks use FX group B. In sequencer mode, each track has access to either FX group A or B. In sound mode, only FX group B is available. To add even more sound quality, before the style, song, your voice, etc. goes to the outputs, it can be mastered using a complete audio mastering suite from Waves Audio, which is fully editable in Global.